Hello,
Hello.
people of the internet, and welcome to another review here on Pez of the Mind. I am James Phoenix. With me is Chris the Mole,
Hello.
and we are here to talk about the new Netflix original series from the creator of The Simpsons and Futurama, Matt Groening, entitled Disenchanted.
Yep.
Part 1 of the first season has been released on Netflix. That's 10 total episodes. And the show focuses on the kingdom of Dreamland, ruled by King Zod, with the primary character being his daughter, whose name I still haven't been able to quite catch.
Bean.
Bean, thank you. Like Bean or Bin, I wasn't sure. Okay, so Bean, which is short for something longer. And basically, her being not a typical princess, she likes to go out and drink and wants to have a normal life. And she hangs out with an elf named Elfo and her own personal demon named Lucy. And they have zany adventures in a medieval type kingdom.
Yep.
So I found this really enjoyable. I thought it was a lot of fun.
I like this show.
Yeah.
One thing that is worth noting for people is, unlike Futurama and The Simpsons, this actually has an overarching story that builds slowly over the course of. It's not all like it's not as grand a scale as like a Deep Space Nine or Game of Thrones or something like that. But it's there where you see it slowly build and it's building to the next one, and like next episode they might pick up something that was in the previous episode, and they do it that way so it's continuity because they know people are going to binge watch it. They might as well have one big plot because now they don't have to worry about casual ratings as much.
Right, exactly, which makes sense.
Yep. Plus the first episode is slightly longer, by about 5-10 minutes, because they can do on Netflix.
Yep. And a lot of the voice actors that you know from Futurama have come back for this, including Billy West, Maurice LaMarche, Tress MacNeille, many others.
Yep.
And they're doing a great job.
I'm going to say my favourite is her husband, or future husband, gets turned into a pig.
He's funny.
I love that voice actor. He's actually been in live action stuff over here, as he was in The IT Crowd, one of the greatest comedies. People need to watch that. He was also in a show I absolutely adore, and Simon's recently just started watching it finally, The Toast of London.
Okay.
You would love that. It's a sitcom that's completely batshit insane, and at the end of each episode, he bursts into song, and they do a musical number in different styles of music each week.
Nice.
And it's brilliant.
That sounds brilliant.
But he's famous, which is funny because he's a pig. He's famous for being a giant ham in his acting.
Ah.
And like he really just loves to ham it up with how he does stuff, and it's wonderful.
Nice.
But yeah, that works for this, and I found it really enjoyable.
Yeah.
They do some twists on some existing stuff, because obviously, like Futurama, where they put a twist on some futuristic stuff you wouldn't expect, and stuff like that, they do it on some past stuff. Like the twist with Hansel and Gretel is awesome.
Yeah, that was really good.
I'm not gonna say what that was for people.
No, we won't spoil it.
Wonderful. Yeah, but it was wonderful, and basically, the concept of this show is she gets the demon on her birthday when she opens up a box, and it's to curse her, because then she's going to be doing evil because of this demon. However, Elfo comes from a land of happiness and is pure and stuff like that, so therefore it's literally the angel and devil on both shoulders.
Yeah.
For the but as characters to her, so they all they represent different parts of her, and they help her out that way, which is cool. And I love the fact Elfo seems to be in love with her.
He does.
But she just likes him as a friend.
Yep.
Which is funny on that Hansel and Gretel one. I'm enjoying this. But I think I like it as a friend.
Yep.
Which I was like, okay, that's funny.
That was good.
But yeah, the animation's great.
Yeah.
There is a Futurama Easter egg in this.
Is there?
I don't know if it is the last episode, but there's a definite Futurama Easter egg.
Okay.
Which has led some fans to do a theory of this is in the same world of Futurama.
Ah.
but all the way in the past.
Interesting.
But obviously, we don't know.
Right.
I don't think they will do that because it's them.
Mm.
Like, if they didn't put Futurama in the same world as The Simpsons.
Except they kind of did sometimes.
Not really, because even when they went back in time, like in Futurama's world, Fry's like, oh yeah, it's the Bart Simpson parade balloon. I remember him, and oh yeah, the Bart Simpson toys. But every now and again, they'd cross over just because it's funny. But they weren't saying it's canon that they're in the same universe. It's just fun.
Fair enough.
But they did like they crossed over in the comics too,
Hmm.
which they're fun.
Yeah.
But I am enjoying. Like that, I was enjoying this series. And we've seen part 1. We got part 2 coming up soon.
Yep. Yeah, I do like how they have a wide range of different characters and how they were able to work in a lot of famous voice actors. John DiMaggio, who voices Bender in Futurama, is playing King Zod. I recognize the voice of the Prime Minister guy as the voice of Mom's oldest son.
Mhm.
A lot of these are similar. I'm not sure who Billy West is voicing, but I know he's in there as well. Tress MacNeille is voicing in a range of side characters. One of which, who was like the religious leader, she's doing the voice of Mom for that one, which is cool.
Yep. Which I will say, I love the lizard mum.
Oh yeah, she's fun.
Only because at first I was like, is she a vampire? And I was like, no, is she a lizard? What the hell are you? Uh, but I like that.
Yeah, that was good. The stepmother to the titular princess, so that's fun. Well, not titular, but to the main character princess.
Yep.
That's fun. And they build an ongoing plot line. They establish some surrounding kingdoms. They kind of do some world building, while at the same time making jokes about all the things that typically happen in fantasy stories or medieval past stories and things like that.
Yep. And I will say with Alpha, color his outfit slightly differently, and it's Bart.
Yeah, a little bit.
He has the t-shirt, the shorts, and the little shoes in the same way, and it looks just like Bart, but medieval take on it.
And with a
Which
hat.
yeah. But yeah, but I was on about the outfit on the way down. That's what I was on about. But yeah, that's why
Gotcha.
it looks like Bart if you just change the color of it, which is cool.
Yep.
I think that's intentional.
Maybe.
But yeah, there's like a variety of creatures and stuff like that. And yeah, it's fun, and it's got its own little lore spread throughout it, which is cool. I feel I don't mean to say you sound nasty or anything like this, but I feel like if you're one of those that just wants to be spoon fed everything for like simple little, similar to like the Futurama and the Simpsons, where you just want the casual viewing,
Hmm.
you're not going to enjoy this because I feel it's slightly more intelligent than them just because of the thread throughout. So you're going to have to keep up, if that makes sense. I'm not saying it's an amazingly intelligent show. I'm not doing that. But you know what I mean? It's slightly more intelligent than what the other two were in terms of in some regards, and I feel certain some types of people might not be able to handle that.
Yeah. Yeah, I can agree with that. It definitely goes a little bit more in depth with the humor, and because there's a lot of instances where the humor is harkening back to previous episodes. There's that continuity factor as well.
Yeah, there's the continuity factor. Also, a lot of the jokes seem more adult than they did on the other one
Yes,
because they don't have the censorship.
exactly.
So I feel like both together it's going to make some people get put off. Like some people didn't like Star Trek Deep Space Nine just because it had a grand overarching story. However, if you actually watch Deep Space Nine from the beginning to end, it's fucking the best one.
It is totally. If you're into serialized storytelling, not everyone is. So I can completely understand that some people want to go and they want to just be able to watch a singular episode, have a story from beginning to end. Maybe a reference here or there, but mostly just self-contained little adventure. Serialized storytelling is not for everybody, and especially back then when you actually had to watch every week and you couldn't binge it when that was on the air. I can understand some people having not been totally on board with that.
Eh. I only say because at the time it aired, we also had loads of great serialized television on,
True.
like
But the Star
Buffy.
Trek Right, but the Star Trek audience was not accustomed to that. That wasn't the Star Trek formula until that point. So I can understand why long-running Star Trek fans who are accustomed to the episodic, individualized format were not totally on board with
Yeah.
it.
See, the thing I don't get with that is, I would argue, who's Star Trek's biggest fan? Fans, I should say. Who's Star Trek's biggest fans? I'd argue, logically, and obviously there's been derogatory terms for them, but I was about it's the Trekkies.
Yep.
I'm not about like me and you. I'm about the ones that will literally rip apart each episode and go about continuity and stuff.
Yeah.
Which means they're all about continuity. Which means their big audience was about looking for continuity. Which they gave it to them. They've rewarded them for looking for continuity.
True.
But I feel like this, because of it being how it is, yeah, like I said, because it's on Netflix, it's people will binge watch.
Yeah, definitely.
And if they binge watch, one of the things they will do is, obviously, you're going to notice continuity between multiple episodes, and therefore you'll be watching it as one big episode as opposed to little ones, so it becomes funnier.
It does.
Yep. So how would you rate this?
I would say this is I think this is a strong show. I would say 8.5 to a 9. At least this is it's a very good show. The humor is well written in.
Ouch.
Why?
Ouch, that's low.
Why?
Why? Because all your other scales have been on a scale of 100, so I can only assume on a scale of 100 you're giving this an 8 or a 9. Ouch.
Very funny. I normally go out of 10. If you want to be picky, find 85 to 90 out of 100 if we're going to go that scale. In either case, it's an enjoyable show.
You used to normally go out of 10, then suddenly you stopped and it started to be, 85, 75 or an 85, depending. That's it's like, oh, okay, so you're giving it a 9 out of 100? Ouch, dude, ouch.
I give it Elf out of 10.
That makes more sense.
Anyway, it is really enjoyable. There's good humor in it. I think if you binge watch it, it is a little bit more enjoyable just because you see all the stuff in a rapid boom and you can see the continuity and everything evolving, and I think that's good. I think it's certainly, you could enjoy it if you've never watched anything from Matt Groening before. I think in particular if you watched Futurama, I think because a lot of the same voice actors and similar voices are there, I think there's a certain level of enjoyment you can get from that, just from recognizing, oh, hey, this is that, and just enjoying the characters. But overall, I think anybody who likes a good comedy show and is willing to work with a prolonged story and not an episodic format will get a big kick out of this.
Nice. I enjoyed this, and I'll give it a thumb up. I enjoyed this. It doesn't get 2 thumbs up, because I will say it does have growing pains early on, just because it's the first one. It's got to set up its world before you can play in it properly. Which a lot of shows do that. Like, I argue a lot of shows, a lot of shows on TV nowadays, the pilot is just the worst episode.
Yeah, that's true.
But I feel like that's what this is. If the first episode or 2, they're funny, but it gets funnier. And it keeps rewarding you then for staying with it. So that's cool. So I'm going to give it a thumb up. And I'm going to say by serialized as well, in case people think, from Futurama and, like the big overarching story. It's better in the Futurama movies. Don't worry about that.
Yes,
where they did the movies and split them into 4 episodes. I loved the movies, but when they split them into 4 episodes, they just felt, I don't know why, they just felt worse. I think they added stuff that didn't need to be there anymore, just to make them the full 20 minutes.
Probably.
But I didn't like those. I didn't like those as a season.
Yeah.
But yeah, I gave it a thumb up.
Cool. I don't know what else to try, Your Majesty. I've tried all 3 sciences. Even smoke? Even smoke!
Yep.
Now that wizard dude is fun. But yeah, so this is available on Netflix now, both sides of the pond. So
tomorrow is Bleach.
Yeah, we'll be reviewing the Netflix Bleach movie tomorrow.
Tell me you've seen it.
I'm going to watch it tonight. It's on my to-do list.
Fair enough. Remember, Japanese with subtitles.
Japanese with subtitles. Got it.
No, I mean it's only Japanese with subtitles. Unless, well, to be fair, they have Spanish and French too, so you can always watch it in Spanish.
I could, but that's not going to really enhance my enjoyment at all. So
Why? Spanish is a second language in your country. Unless you're saying you're so ignorant that you ignore half of your language.
Mm.
That's racist.
we don't have a national language here. We can choose to know what languages we want.
Actually, the two main languages in the United States in terms of business and when they go across as well, the two they list as the main languages in the United States is English and Spanish.
It's true, but by our laws and our government, we do not have an established language. That's the reason why you can go both ways. Businesses can choose. There was a guy over here that won a court case where he put a sign on his window that said, "You're in America now. Order in English." And the court ruled that he could legally do that, even if it was discriminatory, because there's no national language here. He could choose to operate his business in whatever language he feels like. The same way somebody could open a restaurant only operated in Spanish.
But you just answered your own question there. The law says you can do it, but the law, according to you, does agree it's discriminatory. My argument was it's racist or discriminatory and it isn't right.
Mm.
You're using essentially, ironically, the right defense of the laws on our side. Where if the other side does that, people will slaughter them for that.
Yeah.
No, I was more annoyed that they had French, Spanish, I think Brazilian, and Japanese. I'm like, where's my dub? I want an English dub so I can understand what's going on. But it's still fun in Japanese with the subtitles.
It is, yeah. Definitely check that out. So we'll be reviewing that tomorrow, and then of course next weekend we will be doing the final countdown.
Yep, and I think we had something fun on Sunday, didn't we? We might not have.
I don't think so.
Fair enough.
We added something and I forgot to write it down, which is possible.
Fair enough.
Nope, I just see Netflix tomorrow, and then next Sunday, the 30th, we'll be doing the top 5 hero pet.
Cool.
For the final countdown. So check that out. All right. There we go.
Cool.
All right. Well, Mo, thank you for joining me.
Yep.
Again, check out Disenchanted. First 10 episodes available now on Netflix. It's a great show. Enjoy. And peace.